So hello, welcome back to another video. Now I know you probably won't be able to see me very well on camera. As you can see in the background, that sun's gone down. It's coming up to 8:30 in the evening and I've come out tonight to try and look for a bass. Now everything's kind of against me this evening. It's flat calm. At the moment we've got literally next to no wind whatsoever, and we've got the smallest tides that we get over here. So really not great for bass fishing. However, my motivation over the last week or so has been pretty low, mixed with the weather being pretty terrible as well. So therefore I haven't been out. And this evening I've got the chance to come out for maybe an hour, 2 hours, and just give it a quick go. So anyway, I've got my rod all set up, I've got a lure on. I'm going to be starting with an Evo Bass launch, just on a little 3 gram belly weighted weedless hook. I'm going to be throwing that out over rough shallow ground and hoping that there's going to be a bass about. So I'm going to hop on some rocks now, get fishing straight away. Hopefully we can bag one. Now the main camera I'll be using tonight with the chest cam for obvious reasons. But just before I hop onto the rocks, this is the lure I'm using, Evo Bass Launch. These are brilliant lures, but to be honest with you, I've not been using them lately. But it should be a good night tonight for them. Just work it nice and slowly. Like I said, there's not going to be a lot of tide at all. There's no chop, so I'm just going to glide one of these through the water and see if that works. I've got a few soft paddle tails with me as well, also some shallow diving lures. I'm using the same rod as normal, Shimano Airnos, nothing fancy. It's a 7 to 35 gram, 9-foot lure rod, and I've got my trusty battered and bruised Shimano Nasky 4000 on there with 26 pound Daiwa J-braid. So let's get this lure in the water, see if we can find a fish. Well, there we have our first bass of the evening. So there we are, little DoLive weedless lure and a little bass. Let's get him back. There we go, there's bass number 2. A bit bigger that one. Gavin's had about 4 or 5 since we've been here. But these little DoLives are doing the trick. That's a nice sized bass, give it about 2.5 pound. Beauty. So there we go, bass number 2 of the evening. Only small little things, very subtle hits, but at least are catching some fish. Gavin's had about 4 or 5 as well on the little DoLives. But great fun. Let's get it back and get some more. And just as that fish is going back, I've just heard Gavin's rod going crazy. No, that's a better bass. Go. That's a lovely bass, that. Give that about just under 3 pound. Beautiful. So very lightly hooked. Such subtle hits from all of these fish tonight. That's actually a nice sized fish, that. Lovely bass. Bass number 3. Bit nicer, that one. Probably 2.5 to 3 pound. Beautiful looking fish. to get it back in the water. Off you go, mate. So this is the lure I'm using. This is just a little DoLive with a 2.0 weedless hook on. Gavin's given me one of these. He recommended this tonight because the fish have been so finicky, and he was absolutely spot on. But we've hooked into a few now. I've had 3, I've had loads of missed hits. Gavin's had about 7 fish, I think. So hopefully we can find a few more. Hopefully a big one. There's another little lively one. This one just snagged me up halfway in. Got caught just behind a rock, so I just gave it a bit of took the tension off a bit, and luckily he came out. There we go. So just a little tiny one there, but fish number 4, they're definitely on the feed. So let's make our way down to the shoreline, see if we can find some fish. I'm just going to wander along here, chuck a lure out, and then work my way just up and down the shore. And hopefully we can hook into something. That's the lure I'm starting with, IMA Komomo 145. Let's see what we can get. Well, 5 or 6 casts in, nothing happening yet. I'm going to move down the bay here, fish into the shallower ground. That'd be lovely to get a bass tonight. I went out 2 nights ago, actually ended up fishing for quite a few hours and didn't catch a single thing. It was really dead that night. So I'd take anything tonight, big or small. Well, I very nearly just had my first fish. Only a very small one. Took it right in the shallows, but it come off. So I'm going to get this straight back out there. Oh, well, fish on, baby. There's our first bass of the evening. There we go. Nice bass that. Give it about £2. Just sort my light out. There we go. And there we are. One lovely bass. Just under £2, I'd say. Taking on the IMA Komomo 145. Beautiful fish. There we go. Popped off the hook whilst wrecking my rod. This is why I don't buy expensive rods. So into our first fish of the evening. Not a bad size, but no monster. Still a welcome catch by any means. Now, like I said, I lost one really close in just before, but I've just moved spots again, casting into a different area, and it's paid off. Beautiful. Here we have bass number 2. Just a little tiny one, and a very feisty one at that. Let's get over here. there we have it, bass number 2. Only a very diddy one, that one, little micro bass. Angry fella, that's for sure. I'm not going to waste any time, I'm going to get him back, hopefully find some more. Straight off. So a quick little update. I've had 2 fish in the last 3 or 4 casts. The tide's dropping really fast. Now what I wish I could film and show you is, it was a bit overcast when I got here, but it's just past a full moon. It's a day or 2 after a full moon. Anyway, the clouds have just parted and the moon is beaming down. It's lit up the whole of the water and it is such a beautiful, beautiful scenic view. Now I was a bit worried, thinking that might put the fish off with the moon shining light onto the water, but it seems as though they're there at the moment. They're probably going to be small fish, but if they're small fish it means there's a few about, so hopefully we can get a couple more. I'm going to keep the Komomo on for now. I might change to a soft plastic in a little bit, but I'm not out for too long tonight. Just come out for a bit of fun. But we'll get a lure back in the water, see if we can find any more. Well, first cast back in, and we hooked ourselves some weed. Tide's dropping pretty quick. So let's see if we can find some more before they move out of here. So, another quick change of lure. Just been using one of the pirate lures, but it's a little bit big. And as that tide's dropping, it's getting a lot shallower. So I'm putting on one of these. These are made by a guy called Ian at the lure factory. It's called the Longtail. Very much like a DoLive, but smaller. And on here I've just got, I think this is a 2.0 weedless hook. It's a 3 gram little belly weighted hook. So we'll throw this out and see if we can entice anything with that. That tide has dropped loads since I've been here. It's gone down so fast, so it won't get long, but it's worth a go with this. So that's going to do it for tonight. That brings an end to my little short session. Now that tide's dropped so quickly, it's unreal. And what's happened now is the tide has dropped so fast, therefore the run of the tide is gone. The side I'm fishing of this bay, there was a lot of tide earlier on, and it's dead flat now. The swells dropped right off, and it really is, it's like a mill pond out there. But it was definitely worth coming down. A little bit of fun for an hour or so. Now I tried a few different kind of lures today, but the 2 fish that I caught were both on the IMA Komomo. That little one I lost at the start as well. Also took that lure. Tried a couple of soft plastics, a couple of paddle tails, a couple of little stick baits, but yeah, nothing else was happening. But in all honesty, I think the tide had dropped too much by that time anyway. So it seems as though the fish may have just moved off. Now I was out the other night as well. I was actually out with another bass angler over here, which was great fun. Myself and Gavin, who's lure fishing UK on Instagram, so go and check him out. He's got years and years worth of knowledge about bass fishing. I even picked up a few things just from our short session. So yeah, it's really beneficial to fish with people like that. They'll teach you things, and you'll become a better angler yourself. So that was really fun. I'll probably link this footage to the footage from that night. I only filmed bits and pieces, obviously because I was out with someone else and don't want to blow spots, etc, etc. So I hope you enjoy the little video. It's always a bit difficult filming at night for obvious reasons. So it tends just to be fish rather than talking and going through lures and stuff like that. That's obviously a lot easier to film during the day. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for watching my channel. There's going to be loads more to come. So yeah, I'll see you on the next one.